back in February. Obviously, he's had a few months off since then. He beat a young debutant in a matter of minutes on that occasion. He's up against another talented debutant tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in blue corner. Please welcome, representing Көкшетау, жазылыңыздар, Талғат, Шайкен!
Well, it's a big night for this young man. Making the walk for the first time, you could forgive a few butterflies, a few nerves, perhaps. He's an Almaty young man himself, Talgat Shaiken, and he turns 20, not till next month. But he's got plenty of amateur experience, medals as well at top level as a youngster, and now he's making the walk as a pro. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight. Always a big night for these youngsters just starting out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the boxer representing a red corner. He is a finalist of Asia Youth Championship. He is 172 centimeters tall. His weight is 69.7 kilogram. Professional record of the boxer: 5 wins, no losses. 1 win by way of knockout. Representing Alga Kazakhstan, жазылыңыздар, Берікбай, Nұрымбetov. His opponent representing blue corner. He is a finalist of Youth Olympic Games. He is 172 centimeters tall. His weight is 69 kilogram. He is a professional debut. Representing Көкшетау, Kazakhstan. Hanımlar ve mırzalar, жазылыңыздар, Талғат, Шайкен!
From both of you, you should listen to obey my command. You shake hands, I wish you the best. Touch it. Are you ready? Number 2.
Here we go then, kick-starting proceedings with a young man starting out in the professional game. And that is Talgat Shaiken. Southpaw in the gold and black, and you can see him already trying to settle down behind the jab. Interesting to see, Barry. Big night for him just starting out.
Yeah, and a good test as well. You know, we don't know how Nurımbetov's, who he's been up against exactly and how good he actually is, but the fact that he has a winning record and undefeated, says a lot what they think of Shaiken and what they think his future will be, especially at such a young age.
Yeah, only 19, just about to turn 20. He's very happy initially to go head-to-head with Nurımbetov, who has largely been up against young, inexperienced, inferior opposition, losing records or debutants. He actually turned pro at sort of super light stroke welterweight. After his couple of years out of the ring, he's reappeared, getting up 154 and even up towards 160 pounds. So interesting to see what sort of test he is tonight for Shaiken.
He's a nice correct puncher, Shaiken, but there's not too much upper body movement, so he's right there to be hit after he throws the shots. Just holds his feet a bit too much and just a little bit square to the target at times. He obviously, fancies his power a little bit, doesn't he? Fancies his strength. That's better there, a little half step back there from Shaiken.
Oh, nice body shot there from Nurımbetov.
Oh, and again there, Nurımbetov. Nice little 1-2 there right on the line. The thing is, he doesn't have to go looking for Shaiken, does he? He's right in front of him. That's better. It wasn't a massive pivot on the front foot. A little step to the right to keep that foot, that southpaw stance on the outside.
And again.
Yeah, good.
That was lovely, wasn't it? Getting his shots off then, a little bit of movement as well. No stationary target in front of Nurımbetov. He's only got the one stoppage in his 5 wins so far.
To be fair, Nurımbetov tried exactly the same movement there. Didn't quite come off for him though.
confident start from Shaiken. Oh, clipped.
Again, though, throw the shots and just holds his feet. Oh, good shot though, good left hand there from Shaiken.
Oh, lovely shot. Actually, Nurımbetov came back with his own, just clipped him with a hook. So there's constant little reminders for Shaiken early on in this first round.
That's better there from Shaiken then, a little bit of movement.
Did he clip him with the right hand?
No,
or
there's a little
just
bit of a push and tangle of the feet, I think. Good shot there though from Nurımbetov, finish the round.
Oh, good start, wasn't it? Entertaining start to this one. Well, the interesting thing about tonight's card is the matchups for the youngsters just starting out in their professional careers. A couple of potentially tough matchups tonight, certainly on paper. And already we've seen that Nurımbetov is going to at least ask a few questions of Shaiken early on in his career. And a few little reminders that he needs to be alert tonight.
Yeah, but he's in against guys who come to win, and that's we're going to see what he has. But he does some good work there, Shaiken. But the fact that after he throws the shots, that's his worst. It's after he does his work is the problem with him right now. If he can adapt, because he's just holding his feet after he throws his shots, and then Nurımbetov doesn't have to look too far to find the target if he wants to counter.
Round 2,
Into the second round then, scheduled for 6 this one. Around £154, and Talğat Şaiken in the gold and black trunks was a talented amateur, as we said at the outset. Silver medal at the Olympic Youth Games a couple of years ago in Buenos Aires, Argentina. He's beaten by a vastly more experienced Russian Ilya Popov. He actually managed to get a knockout in the semi-finals to progress to that gold medal match, and basically experience beat him on that night. Here he is, a couple of years on, now in the pro ranks.
Loaded up with that left hand there, Shaiken. Just using that footwork a little bit more, isn't he, in this round?
Barry absolutely spot on about Nurımbetov. He is coming to win and throwing shots, and there's no feeling out process here. They settled down to business right away.
Good shot.
He's kind of pawing with the jab, but he speared a left hand through the guard, and there's that clever movement of the shots too. Much better, that classy from Shaiken.
Yeah, it's better. He's showing a little bit of well, you can see what made him a good amateur, not just that bullet strength. There's a little bit of guile to his work he's showing now as well. Good though, back. Good response in there from Nurımbetov.
Yeah, he keeps replying, and he's letting loose with some heavy shots himself. And Shaiken, when he's not moving, and he's not constantly moving, he is there to be hit. Certainly making for a good watch anyway.
Just needs to try and get that uppercut into play now. Shaiken. That's a good shot. That's nice work as well there. A little jab and a slip.
He's certainly breathing a bit of confidence into his work as well. Looks like he's loosening up, but again, there's always little cameos, isn't there? There's at least one solid shot coming back in the exchanges from Nurımbetov as well. There's a couple of times now Nurımbetov has let a punch go on the break, and he let one go there. Big right hand. He almost let another one go. He's going to have to be careful, Nurımbetov. Just getting a bit fiery here.
Көрсетілім 1xbet қолдауымен шығарылды. Жоғары коэффициенттермен жылдам төлемдер. Төмендегі сілтеме бойынша өтіп, 65.000 теңгеге дейін сыйақы ал.
Well, second round pretty explosive towards the end, and not for the first time through the first couple of rounds. Nurımbetov has thrown a punch after the referees appeared to break them.
It's good deliberate work here from Shaiken. He's trying to punch through the target. It's just a little bit, sometimes a little bit ponderous his work. So this could be a little more injection of pace at times. He uses footwork more in that round. Not at the end of the round, of course, which tried to hold his feet and want to dig it out. To be fair, I think that was where the bell went, but I think Shaiken threw the first punch after the bell. And Nurımbetov duly responded.
The referee just with a stern warning to the pair of them after those shots were exchanged after the bell at the end of the second as we move into the third. It's been a good positive start from Talğat Şaiken on his professional debut. He's been clipped a couple of times. Can he do something different? Can he put a little gap, perhaps class-wise, between himself and Nurımbetov?
Well, this is good what he's doing. Now he's moving and boxing, then he can hold his feet. Just keep changing the tempo. That'll make it harder for Nurımbetov then to stay with him. He'll be second guessing all the time, playing catch-up.
Body shot there from Nurımbetov. The language from Shaiken certainly physically looked as though he felt it was low, and there's one. Almost caught him on the knee, and there he goes again. It's a Ricky Hatton-type response there from Nurımbetov, just taking the low into his own hands. And the referee unhappy about it. I think he's taken a point off.
He has taken a point off, but I understand that. But he was hit so low by Shaiken there that it almost wasn't dangerous. It was so low.
Just slightly off balance. I think Nurımbetov, he landed a couple of good body shots himself in that exchange as they go head to head again.
He's boxed well in this round, hasn't he, so far?
A little bit of blood coming from the nose of Nurımbetov.
It's good there from Shaiken there, because he's having success, but he's not staying at. He's not being too greedy with his work. Now with a couple of shots, and that's it. You move away then. Don't take anything back. When he holds his feet there like that, he might show some strength and not be bothered with the shots, but he's having to take it too many at times.
And the combinations, the classier shots being put together definitely by Shaiken. He's doing more in each round. He's winning the rounds, but Nurımbetov always having his moments.
He's just relaxed into it a little bit, hasn't he, here?
Yeah, he's starting to flow a bit.
Yeah.
Nice uppercut again there from Nurımbetov. There's always one or two punches, isn't there, around from him that you remember. Never quite enough, but little moments.
Just loading up there, Nurımbetov, and that's why he's always a little bit too slow off the mark.
And that was better from Shaiken. He got those shots off, and then he ducked under the reply, moved away. That was nice there. A little feint step back and a little jab. Boxed well in that round. Yeah, he did. Aided and abetted by an additional point for the low blow, and that was his best round so far. Well, the manner in which the point was deducted, perhaps slightly unfair, I think, on that man, Nurımbetov. I think he's just frustrated by the fact he was hit low himself. He retaliated. never to be condoned, but I think sometimes you understand it, and unfortunately, because of that, he's been punished. And thereafter, Barry, Shaiken kind of got into a groove.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, as you already mentioned, he got a nice little rhythm to his work, and yeah, he's starting to take total control. Though he's won every round. The first round, he held his feet too much and got caught too much. But as the rounds have gone on, the second and certainly that round, got a nice rhythm to his work. His footwork's moving well, and he's boxing much better than looks the prospect that we were told about.
Into round 4 then. Is Talğat Şaiken getting better as this one goes on, or can Berike and Nurımbetov pose one or two problems? He's landed some body shots. Nurımbetov, another one went through their right hand, and a couple of them on the belt. Oh, just a little dip of the knees there as Şaiken landed a left hand.
See, if Şaiken could just get a little bit more whip in those shots, because they're heavy punches, you could see it, but just think they lack a little bit of velocity to really get a guy out of there. But good work. I think he's boxing for a young kid. He's grabbed his composure really well after that first round.
No, he doesn't look like a 19-year-old.
No, he doesn't.
His first time out, does he?
Good. Oh, that's good. She felt that
I did feel it, yeah. There's just a little stutter in the step there again, off balance with the right foot, Nurımbetov. And Şaiken trying to shake off his opponent. Just a little blood coming from the nose there again of Nurımbetov. Maybe is the Şaiken starting to get through?
So you can see that gap there, Nurımbetov. You can see that gap through the middle there with the body shots. Just can't quite reach the target at times. Tough. Good right hook.
What he has done is the 6 rounds quite a few times. Last July, did it a couple of times in 2016 as well, before that time away from the sport. So he has at least been there, where of course it's a new experience for Talğat Şaiken, certainly in the professional ranks. He's buzzing now though, the young man.
Oh, that's nice, cute.
Again, the body shots have been good from Nurımbetov, sneaking in another right hand, but just little moments for him and not anything more.
That was lovely there from Şaiken there. Nice little 1-2 little feint move around the target. Really good work.
And to be fair to Şaiken, Barry, he's not been clipped as he was through the first couple of rounds. There was sort of careless moments where he was punished for little mistakes.
Well, I think he was trying to be a little bit too bullish, and I think maybe just trying to impose himself on Nurımbetov, and then realised maybe that wasn't the right tact. The way he's boxing the last few rounds has been really good. This round, every round getting better than the previous one, which is impressive. Just adding on to that success from the previous round, and he's boxed even better again in his 4th round. Movement, but he just stops and holds his feet long enough to get a bit of purchase on the shots, and he's off again.
Nurımbetov is trying, he's trying hard, just becoming a little tired, maybe a bit more ragged, and that's allowing Şaiken to look better and better as each round progresses. So very much in control. Corner pretty happy with him, I think, Talğat Şaiken.
We've seen here from Nurımbetov here, the little cameos of success that he does have every now and again. And it's only when Şaiken holds his feet, to be honest. And when he lands more than 2 or 3 punches and holds his feet, then he gets caught. But when he throws his little fast burst of combinations and moves off, he really is dominating the show.
Into round 5 then. Talğat Şaiken, one of it, I think at least three southpaws, Kazakh southpaws tonight as well.
That's not even a thing anymore,
No,
is it?
it's not.
Southpaws, it used to be a rarity. Another rarity in boxing now is a boxer without a tattoo.
just complaining of... is he... quite work out what he was saying, whether he's distracted by something or someone, but...
That's the thing, with no crowds, you can hear everything ringside, can you? You can hear the corners talking and anything else, so you might have heard something you weren't happy with.
Certainly won't have been happy with the fist flying his way. Again, he backs off. Nurımbetov, is he trying to lure in Shaiken?
I think a little bit, because he needs Shaiken close to him. That's the problem he has. He have to be that 3/4 range for him to really get to work. From distance here, he just can't reach the target at all. He's tried, and you see it there. Like every time he makes a move, everything's too telegraphed, so you can see it's too easy to read. So he needs to be close to it. It's harder to read his attacks, and he can get those uppercuts and hooks into play.
And actually, for the first time in the fight, we're seeing something again from Shaiken. Look at him controlling the distance now. And Nurımbetov just can't get close to him at all. That's a bit more what I expected from the start for him. But to be fair, what he's been doing has worked, but it's been good to watch too.
Well, after the first round, you thought, I'm not sure about his longevity, but he's going to be in fun fights straight away if he fights the way he is in a minute. But I think he's adapted as the fight's gone on, and he's shown really good boxing skills, good footwork as well, and yeah, and has improved massively as the rounds have gone on. It's been impressive.
I think he's enjoyed himself as well, Shaiken, and he's certainly doing so now. Very relaxed. He started to flow, didn't he, in that third round, and we mentioned that rhythm. And he's just got better and better as this one's gone on.
That didn't look that low to me, I gotta be honest. It must have been, but it didn't look too bad.
I think Nurımbetov probably feel he's had the rough end of this from the start, but you thought through the first couple of rounds he might just have a big moment in this fight potentially, and it's just been taken away from him as it's gone on.
Well, I think he has, if Shaiken was
big shot.
If Shaiken was going to try and push him back like he did in the first round, then I think Nurımbetov would have been competitive, because you stand in front of him, he'll go toe to toe with you, but he can't cope with his feet, are not fast enough, he can't cope with the movement.
Bit of a frustrating night for Nurımbetov. Landed some body shots, a couple of big punches landed through the first couple of rounds, and then with the point taken off in the third, Shaiken started to get into a groove and a rhythm, started to flow, and we've seen that throughout the fourth and fifth rounds. There's certainly something's irked him, hasn't it? Whether it's the referee, something someone said by ringside, but he just got wound up about something, Nurımbetov.
Final round, round 6.
Into round 6 then. Nice start to the boxing tonight. And Talğat Shaiken, the debutant, only 19, has got better and better as this one has gone on. Lands a nice left hand as well, and Nurımbetov's just got to try and close the gap and let his hands go.
Yeah, this is where he wants Shaiken right here, isn't it? Yes, good work there from Nurımbetov. The only good, I don't think the referee's been his friend tonight, Nurımbetov, with any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think that public warning will really have an effect on the fight. Only one winner so far anyway, isn't it?
Again, a left-handed. Yeah, again, I think it's just his the sort of body language. Just look a couple of times. It's just there's another low one.
Yep.
Nurımbetov, but a couple of times he's just like momentarily sagged, and you just wondered that the power's starting to get through. But he's worn it well.
Good left hand.
Oh, that's solid looking jab. Getting through better from Shaiken there as well. Bit of frustration, I think, from Nurımbetov, but there you saw, after he'd let his shots go, something that wasn't happening in the first and second round. He's thinking about what was coming back after he'd thrown them.
Yeah, and that was good there, wasn't it? And then close edge. Injection of pace there with a nice little uppercut, right hook, and off he went. Again there, spinning on the right hook. Make sure every time he throws a shot there's always an exit route, and I think that's made him much better, much more elusive, much more fluent in his work as the rounds have gone on.
And he's looked pretty good physically with the pace throughout.
It's for a 19-year-old kid in their debut, it's been a fantastic little display. He's not boxing. I don't think Nurımbetov is going to be any world beater, but he's boxing a guy who's undefeated. Comes with with that man strength, of course, in being 28 and 29, and obviously has come to win.
And now he's been pushed back by the younger man. A couple of times in this round he's pushed his man off, Shaiken, inside the final minute. And Shaiken coming forward in the final 30 seconds, trying to bully Nurımbetov.
Just too slow off the mark, isn't he, Nurımbetov?
He's starting to get through now, whether Nurımbetov just trying to lure him into something, but he's kind of put the exclamation mark on this. Shaiken, I think it's fair to say, in this final round.
Oh, he's boxed great, haven't he? He really has. Didn't look like he had much shakes in the first round, but from there on, he's boxed really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's support
Oh, that was nice to see. He showed a little bit of everything, didn't he? Wanted to fight through the first couple of rounds, then he started to find his mojo, get a bit of rhythm into his work. He flowed through the third, fourth and fifth rounds, and then he tried to land some heavier shots in the final 3 minutes there as well.
Yeah, but it looked like from the first round he wanted to just try and pile through Nurımbetov and show his physical strength. Maybe that was one of his things as an amateur. But as the rounds went, the second round, he used his feet a little bit more, but still tried to be a bit more bullish. But then the third round, he adapted a little more again, started moving the footwork and never running, but always looking to move after throwing shots, looking for the different angles, holding his feet now and again to get some weight in the shots, trying to push Nurımbetov back in little pockets of the rounds, but really realised that the movement and the distance was going to be his friend in this fight and was going to make him sail home, which is, for me, it did by a street. I think he won everything. 10-8 in the third round, of course, because of the dubious points deduction, I would say. But yeah, I think it was for a 19-year-old kid in their first fight, it's a fantastic performance.
Yeah, he looked a little tense coming into the ring. He certainly didn't fight like it at all. But confident, full of the business, and I think he enjoyed himself too. And I think plenty of people watching around the world won't mind having a little gander at this guy, this young man again when he's out next. And I think he'll be pretty wide on the scorecards, with or without that. I think he won every round, really.
Yeah, he did. He won every round, he did. But I think he realised after the first round that if he stands right in front of Nurımbetov, then he's going to be in a fight. And adapted straight away. And adapting in the ring is a difficult thing to do, and he did it quite effectively.
60-53. Judge 2, 59-54. Judge 3, 60-53. Win by unanimous decision and their professional debut. Blue corner, Talғat, Шайкен!